So yeah, as you can see right there, the part before this video is actually exporting right now, but let's not concern with that. So in this hopefully last tutorial, I don't intend on making another part. In this tutorial we're just going to start off by making the key listener for, so we can press the up and down key to just get the recent typed commands. And then after that I'm going to add some more commands, like the how to start and open up a link, and the loop command, and probably smaller, and the get IP command probably also. But if you don't want those commands, then you can just stop watching after we are done with the input command. But yeah, you decide. So let's just get started, and we will need to start with going up here to the top to our variables and just add an array list. Yeah, I like array lists. And then make some greater than and less than signs and write string in between them. And then we're just going to name it recent used. And then equals new array list, of course, and those greater than and less than signs, and in between them also string, parentheses, and nothing inside those, and just end it. Import the array lists, and then after that just write int recent used id equals 0. So that's kind of remembering where we are right now. And then just write int recent used maximum equals 10, and that's the amount that we maximum allow the array list to remember. So if you want to only remember 2, then you write 2. If you want to remember 100, you write 100. But I'm just going to remember 10. So now we are going down here to the input key list now, where we're actually going to detect the up and down presses of the arrow, and just deciding what we are going to do with that input. So in between here just write if parentheses e.get key code equals key event dot up, no, not up, vk underscore up. Open that, copy it, just say else and paste it, and change the vk up to vk down, and then just say else, and actually don't say else. Then inside these key events here, we're going to, in the first one, key up, we're going to say if recent used id is less than parentheses recent used maximum -1, and recent used id is less than parentheses recent used dot size -1. So we're just going to check that the recent used id is less than the maximum amount of recent commands remembering, but we also need to be sure that the actual array list is that size, because we can intend that we've already typed the maximum amount to be remembered. So we just need to test both of them. So if that is true, say recent used id plus plus. Then jump out of the if statement and say input.set waiting for Eclipse to respond. That was an unintended pause, but yeah, let's just get back. Dot set text parentheses recent used dot get recent used dot size minus 1 minus recent used ID. And the reason that we are getting it like that is because we are actually storing the values, or storing the commands backwards, so that the first command is the first command in the list. And so if you just typed the command hello and that's the third command, then it's not the first of the recent, but it's for the last. Does that make sense? I hope so. But let's go down to the else if down, and just say if recent used ID is greater than 0, recent used ID minus minus. Yeah, that was an easy one. And then just copy the input.set text and paste it right under. So yeah, that should be it. We just need to tell the okay, I just confused myself again. That happens a lot. That's irritating right now. Just need to add the actual command when we type the command to the array list. So go up here to the action performed, and inside the text is greater than 1, just say recent used dot add text, and then recent used ID equals 0. So now if we just test it out and we write hello, enter, world, enter, and we just write Vallentin source, enter. Then when we press the up, you can see that it scrolls through the commands like that. And yeah, you can easily make this more advanced, because you just write hello 10 times. Then when you're pressing up, you're going through hello 10 times. So you could easily make that to check for if the hello is, oh yeah, oops, we only have 10 commands, but you could easily just check if the command before that the entered was hello, then don't add it. You can easily just make an if statement right here. But we aren't going to do that. So yeah, now we are actually done with this. So if you don't want to continue watching this tutorial for the next command I'm going to write right now, then you can just skip out right now. And if you're doing that, then see, yeah, the source code of this little tutorial is in the description also of this last video here. So if you want that, you can just download it. I don't know if oh yeah, that could be funny if just uploading it to my own site instead of uploading it to Mega Uploader or something like that. But yeah, we'll see. The source code will be in the description. But yeah, if you want to continue seeing the next commands, then keep watching right now. So now we are starting. So the first one we're going to do is the loop command. So go up to your variables and just write a boolean loop equals false, int loop times equals 1, int loop times temp equals 1. And then just go down to the action performed again, and then we want to make a for loop around the, actually not down here, we're going to do it in the do command. So around the try catch here. So say for parentheses int I equals 0, I is less than loop times I plus plus, and then just clip this try catch under and into the for loop. Then outside the for loop, you're just going to make an, where is it, for loop? outside the for loop, we're just going to make an if statement saying if loop, then loop times equals loop times temp, and loop times temp equals 1, and else we are just going to say loop times equals 1 and loop times temp equals 1. And I can see that since we have just made the for loop around the commands here, we just need to change the second for loop, just change the int I to something else. And remember to do it inside the where it gets the methods from the commands also. That should be all of them. Yeah. So now that problem is fixed. So now we're just going to add the method for looping, and I can't remember if I actually showed it. I'm just going to add it at the end here, else if parentheses, and just copy from the other one, and let's just say loop, and then just say loop times temp equals integer parse int, and then just say commands square brackets 1, and then just say loop equals true, and then we can just print a little message here. So just copy it from the right under here, and we're going to print it as a blue message. So the color would be 155, 155, and 255, and the message we're going to write is the next statement or command will loop plus loop times temp plus quotation marks space times and exclamation mark. So now that we running this program here, if we write something and we write loop and for instance 10, then it'll say the next statement will loop 10 times. So if I just write hello, then it's going to print out 10 times. And yeah, we can also say like 4, and then we write hello, it's going to print out 4 times, and the next statement after that is only 1 because we only want it to loop 1 at a time. So now let's just create the last method here, and that's going to be the one for starting the URL links or programs and things like that. And this will only work on Windows. So if you're having a Mac or a Linux, then you just need to look up how to start files and programs, because the way that I'm starting programs and files, I'm using the command prompt, Windows command prompt, to parse a command through that. So just say else if, and again just copy it, else if, and this time you're going to write start, open the brackets, and in here we're just going to say string not URL, we're just going, what can we call it? We can't call it URL. I don't care. I'm just going to call it URL. I don't care. And then equals commands square brackets 1. No, we go up here and copy up at the message. Just copy the whole pop-up method and just paste it instead of what we just typed. And instead of pop-up, just write start and just change methods to URL. And just remove the J option pane at the end, because we need to assemble the command parsed again, because the URL or whatever program could contain spaces. Then just write string cmd equals cmd.exe /c start space plus URL. And this is the function that we are going to be parsing to the command prompt. So just say runtime.get runtime.exe, then it's going to execute this string of code to the command prompt. It's going to start the command prompt, and then it's going to parse this rest method too. So we're just going to press run, and we just start with just running pop up and hello world. Then it pops up with hello world. Then we can just say start www.google.com. Please don't open on to my left side. It didn't even start. Why didn't you start? Whoops. Runtime, why did you say .equal when I said .exec? Run. Start www.google.com. Yeah, and it opened to my left. But you can just press it again, and you can see it just open a new tab. So it works. And let me just look through my notes over here and check if there's anything else that I forgot to show you. Yeah, the trace method and the get IP method. So copy the else if and just paste it right under and make some brackets. Then just say trace, and inside here just copy this again, but only with the if, and paste it and say change the 0 to 1 and say true. Copy it again, paste it right under, say else and if, and this time false. Then I'm just going to go down here and no, not up there, but just going to copy the print line method with the blue text, and then the true we're going to say tracing enabled, like that. And down here tracing disabled. And then the first one just say trace equals true, and then the last one say trace equals false. So now if we say trace true, it's tracing, and trace false, it is disabled. So that's good. And then we can just make the else if, and again just copy it, and we're going to say get IP, so that we can return the IP address, because that's a good thing. And now I'm just going to make a new thread, and in parentheses just say new runable, open the brackets, say dot start at the end, add the unimplemented method, like that. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I don't want to wait for the thread to be done, or to this process here to be done. I just wanted to run behind the screen, and I could still input commands, because the global IP, it needs to connect to a proxy, or actually my own website, where I have a little script that just returns the global IP, because you can't get your global IP from your own computer, because another website or another server needs to return that. So we'll just start off by saying make a try catch inside here, because first of all we need to return the local IP. So go down and copy the error code and just paste it inside the catch part. Go up to the tracing and just copy the print line code, and inside the quotation marks just write local IP colon, and then say plus inet address dot get localhost dot get host address. and I'll actually make a new tutorial just for getting the global IP, because the website that I used before for getting the global IP is shut down or something like that, and that just annoyed me, so I made my own little script on my website that you can always use. Then just copy this try catch again, paste it right under, and just make some space. Then say string URL equals quotation marks http :// source.com .com/global IP.php, and I can just show you what this does by opening my browser. When you enter this link, the only thing it's going to do is paste your global IP at the top, and if you go into the source code, this is the only thing. So this little PHP script just checks the global IP and just pastes it there, so that we can use our little Java program to read it. So just write, and I'm just going to copy this code here, and just because I can, I'll write some info, because a lot of info in a console just looks awesome. So right now I'm just going to write connecting to proxy, and I'll just change this code to green instead, so 155, 255, 155, and then I'll just make a little sleep thread, .sleep. Not that we care, but 10 milliseconds isn't much, and just let the computer slow a little down. We don't need it to overdo its work. So now just make a buffered reader. I'm just going to call it br equals new buffered reader, parentheses, and open it, and inside parentheses just say new input stream reader, parentheses. I'm just going to open that too, new URL, parentheses, and just type URL inside there. Outside the first parentheses just say dot open stream, and import the things. Then after that we can just say another command, because we like, as I said, we like a lot of text. So just say print line and then retrieving global IP address, also green text, and then just say string receive equals br.readline, and then just say down here in the last print line, say global IP plus receive, like that, and then just run it. So now when we write get IP, nothing happens. Oh yeah, just go up there to the else if and just copy it and paste it right under, and say IP and just change it to 1 and remove the IP from it first, and then just cut this thread into the IP if statement. So now that we write get IP, it just says local IP, writes it, connecting to proxy, retrieving global IP, and just pasting it. And I think it's awesome. We can just spam it. Whoa, don't do that. And if you're actually seeing here, you can see that it says retrieving global IP 3 times, and it don't continue in a row, like doing this first and then doing this, because we are running 2 separate threads, or actually multiple, because each time we enter the get IP is starting a new thread. And then also to ensure that we are going to scroll down, just add the scroll down after the last try catch in our thread. So scroll bottom. So now that's done. Do we need any more? Did I promise any more commands? No, I didn't. So yeah, that's just this little tutorial series. So I'll just say goodbye. Just need to be sure that I don't forgot anything. I didn't. But yeah, like I said last time, I really appreciate likes and comments. So if you have any suggestions for tutorials, and if I forgot any of somebody's tutorials, then just write it again. I don't have much time right now, but I will do my best. And yeah, I'll do my best. So thanks for watching. As I said, I like getting likes and comments. I always appreciate that. I would really appreciate if you did. So do that, and I'm really confused, so I'm just going to say goodbye.